السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده تبارك وتعالى ونصلي على جميع أنبيائه ورسوله ونستفتح بالذي هو خير. سبحانك ربنا لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. نعوذ بك اللهم من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا، من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله وسلم عليه وعلى آله وصحبه. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, we are here and we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His bounties and health and security and safety and iman. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us more knowledge, increase us in knowledge and practice, make us sincere and accept from us. We are in Surah Isra, and we have the theme of it that this Quran guide to that which is the right, the just, the beautiful, or the best. And this is, you need to compare this to any other book or any other principle or any other faith. Allah saying here the values this Quran called for. Show me any other source of values that are comparable to this system. Show me any. And we just talked about the relationship of parent, children, kinship. Tell us any other source, any other religion, any other book, any other philosophy that can be compared to these values that the Quran instill and call mankind to adhere to. That's why said this Quran guide to that which is the best, not better, which is the best when you compare it to any other source. Now, since the verse said aqwam, the best, so what does that imply? If you say this is the best, what does that imply?
It's number one. Nothing else is. Everything else is second to it or less than it.
Right, but it still has some of them. They might have some good in it.
Right. The others might have some good.
Okay, but it is not. See, when I say this is the best,
right.
Well, now the rest are less, but it still imply that they might have some good in them, but it does not rise to this level of goodness.
You know, Sheikh, Quran is the best for all.
That's what we mean. We don't mean that everything is evil. Everything else is evil, no. Or everything else is bad. No, there might be some philosophy, there might be some religion, there might be some books, there might be some principles that have some good in them. But that good is very little and very minimal. You cannot compare it. It will never rise to this level of goodness and righteousness and justice, that is called upon humanity to abide in the Quran. Today, what people thinking about the relationship between father and mother, or between father and children? What is it today? I mean,
They're just friends.
huh?
They're just friends.
Let's if you go to school, what they teach them in the say in the public school, what they teach the father and mother and kids, how do they teach kids to behave towards their parents?
They don't teach them how to behave to their parents.
So the values have been dropped.
Totally. It's not part of the curriculum. Only reading and math and science.
Okay, so there is nothing else. I mean, not even a little bit. Okay, let's take this church.
Right.
Say that maybe the Catholic, the Protestant, or how do they?
They have one of the 10 commandments is honor your mother and your father. They teach you to honor them, so respect them, I guess, is in their book, and but they don't. I mean, there's no clear examples beyond. I mean, they just say honor your mother and your father. I mean, be respectful to them.
Okay, this is a value.
Right.
Say honor your parents. Now in Islam, this value being translated into behaviors. Over there it is just a value. Okay, how I'm going to honor them? Everybody can take a view on it. I honor them, I say hi, assalamu alaikum, or I call them from time to time. But in Islam, that is not enough. It's not just honor them, it's the principle, and here being translated into steps as we learn, even in your word, even in your talking back to them, even when they die, all that principle being translated into real actions and behavior in life. And so on and so forth. So we are going to move and go through all of them, explore all of these values. We said, as Brother Michael already summarized, there are a total of 22 or 23. That is do and don't. And then we have, after that, we have just to put them in an overview. So after saying, giving the dues of Allah to Him, then the dues to the parents, to them, and then the dues to the kinship, which is number 26, وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ. Then we went beyond that, we said to the miskin. And we realized, what does miskin? He didn't say it to the poor, because the poor, everybody call upon helping the poor. Every person in the world don't like poverty and try to eradicate poverty, but they are misguided because it's not, maybe they are not sincere. No, maybe they are sincere, but they are misguided because we see the result is the opposite. The whole world, every single state and politicians and plan and economy and policy, they call for eradicating poverty. But what we see the result? It's getting worse and worse and worse. That is our evidence they are misguided. Because if it is true plan to eradicate poverty, at least we would see some progress. We will see some result. We will see this poverty is shrinking. But the manifestation over and over and over that poverty is expanding. Though there is no single entity, state, program, institution, organizations, politicians around the world disagree that we must, as human beings, should do things to eradicate poverty. Alright, this is 100 years, 50 years, 60 years. What is the result of this whole program, plan, policies? What is the result? The end result that poverty is expanding beyond your imagination. So we can tell for sure they are misguided. That's what we're going to say. And we say, will Allah save us from those who are misguided? Because it is not something impossible. It is something possible to eradicate poverty, and Islam has put this straight, how you can eradicate poverty. And one of it is zakat. Well, as far as I know, I heard that Malaysians, well, this Mahathir, when he was president, prime minister for 25 years, his plan was to eradicate poverty, and they say right now that every single Malaysian is above the level of poverty. No one under the level of poverty in Malaysia. So it is possible to be eradicated if you really sincere and work for it, but the rest of the world is not. Especially the Western world, the capitals, the richest, the smartest, the advanced people. They are really, the poverty is just expanding out of control. 500,000 today, the statistics, 500,000 homeless in New York alone. Yeah, just New York alone. What I mean, it just puts real question, that painful question. Everyone saying we need to do something about poverty, and there are policies and programs. They are not coming from the value of Allah, they are not coming from Quran, they are not coming from guidance. coming from their head, their mind, their wishes, and that is why it's totally misguided. It does not do any good whatsoever. We haven't seen any progress, even 1 hair, that in this country poverty is getting less. We've never seen that. Whether Democrats, Republican, whosoever, we see just poverty is growing and expanding. So that's why we go beyond poverty. What I'm talking this, the Quran here in this 26, it didn't say you have to eradicate poverty. What it says? See, but even those who are having less than enough and their cases are not known, you should reach out to them and elevate them. Because poor, they already know. Anybody is in a poor conditions, the whole world knows it. So here Quran says, no, go beyond poor. Beyond poor there are people that are really don't have enough and their cases is not known and they don't show it, they struggle and keep it to themselves. This is what Muslims should go and look for and search and elevate them, empower them, help them to get above the line of poverty. And the third point is that zakah in Islam, if it is implemented the right way, it does every year take a certain percentage of the society who are under the line of poverty and pump them over the line of the poverty. Every year. If the zakah implemented, and it was implemented exactly, every year you see a chunk of the society where under the line of poverty they are empowered and pushed above the line of poverty. And you keep going, but it doesn't mean one day is going to be eliminated totally, because you take people out, but the society generate some in the other hand. But still, you can outpace the generation of poverty if you follow the Islamic system of economy. وَآتِ ذَا الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ وَالْمِسْكِينَ وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ. Even Allah said, وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ, even the traveler, that Muslims should take care of the travelers. Have in the past, Muslims, they have endowments. They have shelters, food, water. In every, they call it marhal. They used to travel by animals or walking. And so they already standardized the marhala, means how far you can go every day if you are using animals, or how far you can go a day if you just walk. And they call it marhala, means you travel maybe 8 hours or 12 hours and then time to rest. They designed the whole Muslim world according to this. Every marhala there is a station and rest area where you can find the shelter, you find water, you find food as an endowment. It's not as a hotel or breakfast and bed and breakfast, whatever it is. No, it is a waqf that somebody has put the land and people to take care of the traveler. That's it. That you go there is a place where you can spend your time and rest and go on. That is called وَابْنَ السَّبِيلِ وَلَا تُبَذِّرْ تَبْذِيرًا. Now, Islam condemned extravagant and spending too much. I don't know what he said, wasteful. Wasteful. But this is wasteful. Extravagant is better, but okay, wasteful.
Excessive.
Excessiveness. Fine. Because if wasteful, well, maybe you consider, I buy a car for $150,000, I consider it basics, you consider it waste. So how are we going to come to standards? But excessiveness and unnecessarily extravaganza, then that is definitely something majority will say this is just no need for it. Well, we'll go back In Muslims, the first generation that they call the best, second generation, third generation, they only went by the needs. They never went beyond the needs. Okay? The needs been fulfilled. Anything else been put in endowment, in business, in charity, in donation, in project, in servicing others. Beyond the need, they never did anything beyond. And that is Sahaba, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Tabi'een, Khulafa. This was their life. If you have fulfilled your need, you have a shelter, you have a home, you have a house, you have a means to travel, you have means to protect yourself and your family, that's all what you need. Anything else got to be spent somewhere else, in the cause of Allah or serving the humanity. And that's why they were the richest. Because beyond your need, there is a problem. There are, I think probably you have already known that there are needs and wants, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the difference between needs and wants. Okay, let's take example. Need to eat. Okay, I'm hungry. And then I'm gonna go for lunch or dinner. How much I can eat? How much? Average stomach capacity, what?
Like a
1-2 pounds.
liter.
Huh? 1 or maybe maximum 2 pounds. The average is 1 pound. Food and water and everything. Okay? So the need is limited. What can I do if it is full? Okay? My capacity is 1 or 2 pounds and I filled it up. What can I do? They bring me food and buy some more food. I can do nothing with it. Okay? So the needs are limited and can be fulfilled very easily. Now the wants, you know how we do it in Ramadan. Okay, it's iftar, we're fasting the whole day and then go to the shop and buy this and cook this and buy this and do this. And then you see the table is so many things and then you eat 2 bites and... Okay. That is how you go by the wants. And that is what Islam said condemned. You want the whole... There is no limit to how much you want, right?
Yeah.
You go to Bill Gates. Ask him, do you have what you want? Money? If you ask him, do you have what you want? Money? What he said? No. Otherwise he will not work. If he have, so he has, right now he's #1 in the whole world. But if you go ask him, with the money that you have, you think you have what you want? He will say no. Okay, so what is it? What is it this one? Nobody can define it. Has no limit, has no end to it. And this is what is tabdeel. If you are going to follow wants, then it is a problem. Go to the closet of some of us.
Yes.
And dresses after dresses and shoes and jacket and this and... You die before you use them. The whole year went by and you never even know what you have. That is after the wants. The Sahaba, this mentality, they hated it. They never do something like that. Only get what you are to use. Anything you know you are not going to use, they make a way for it. And they periodically, they check whatever they have. Anything that is not going to be used, send it. Why you keep it here? And so on and so forth. This is the verse 26 and 27. We'll listen to the translation. And that is how we are really. We are not brothers of Shaitan, but we are friends with the Shaitan. But this behavior makes us a close friend to the Shaitan. That's what Allah said.
Is this like basically the true zuhud? Like when somebody wants to be zuhud, is the only doing the needs and not the wants?
Right. The good definition of zahid, basically, fulfill your needs. If Allah has opened the door for you, fulfill your needs. But beyond your needs, just don't bother with it. There are people, they go where? They go to the mall and buy. Why? Do you need it? No, but it wasn't said. Okay, what idiot? First of all, so what? You are not in need to it. You might not need it whatsoever. Fine and sale, you're going to give it to someone else, that's fine. But you're going to store it, that is just wrong.
So, Chef, what about those that bless you with all this wealth, all this stuff. Well,
Right, we say whatever you are going to use, fine. Say I have 5 pairs of shoes and I'm using them, that's fine. But beyond that, if you are not going to use it, and basically there are many things in our homes that the whole year we never use them. That is just, I don't know, that is foolishness. In Islamic way, that's foolishness. Give it to someone. Sell it and give the money to do a project, business, do something. Give it to your kinship, to your friends. But today the need is greater. There are people, at least minimum, as you know, minimum every day, 40,000 human beings die out of starvation. Every single day. 40,000 die, just they have no food for a long time, 30 days, and then they die. Every day. Why this money is wasted here? Yeah, listen to the translation.
Bismillah. And give to the kinsman his due, their due, and to the miskin, and to the wayfarer, the traveler. But spend not unnecessarily in the manner of a spendthrift. Verily the spendthrifts are friends of the shayateen, and shaitan is ever ungrateful to his Lord.
So here it tells you 2 things. That you are basically imitating the shaitan, and the shaitan is ungrateful. Because you have all of this, you are ungrateful to Allah. And instead of thanking Allah by giving it away to those who are in need to it, storing it for no use, that is expression of ungrateful to Allah. No more than that. And that's why in Islam, even storing gold and silver is condemned. You can't store it. Put it in practice, put it in business, put it in something will help the society. Invest it. But you cannot store it, though it is money. Yakmizun. If you put it as treasure, then you are subjected to the wrath of Allah. Though it is precious, gold and silver. How about the rest of the things? That basically every single one of us, your home is multiple stores. Has in it so much that even you don't know. And you might never even use. This is something Muslims should just stop doing that. Because this way we draw, as the Quran said, closeness to the shaitan. And express ungratefulness to Allah. That's what we say. So go home, do clearance. Take everything that is not going to be used, and there is no need for it, and put it in garage sale or send it to someone who is in need to it. Why store it? وآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا. I think you heard the khutbah and where it said basically one of these idols is commercialism. Means they are going to bombard you with advertisement, buy, entice you, seduce you to buy. And even if you don't want it, if you don't need it, if you don't have money for it, still they are going to convince you to buy it. Borrow money and buy it. It is so good. You don't need it, borrow it, get it. You don't want it, get it. They force you. That is what is commercialism. That it is so good, it is so great. It just you have to have it. They really, by the end of their advertisement, they say you have to have it. Who said I have to have it? Really, I don't have to have it. If I don't want it, I don't have to have it. If I don't need it, I don't have to have it. But that's how they make it to you. You have to have it. That's something so good. And that is, we said, one of the methodology of shaitan, that if you follow this trend, if you follow this road, basically the wants is grow. And once the wants is grow and you cannot fulfill them, you become ungrateful. I want better house, I want 2 cars, I want this, I want 2nd floor, I want to remodel, I want to change carpet, I want, and I can't fulfill it, then I'm ungrateful. Why, Ya Allah, you didn't give me this?
No, shall borrow money.
Right. So this is what he's saying. It is really a means to seed in you the attitude of ungrateful to Allah, because the wants is growing and growing, and you cannot fulfill all you want. Then you start complaining and whining and feeling like you are not given what you deserve, what you want, what so and so. Then you become ungrateful, and this is most of us ungrateful.
It's not worshiping the desires and just all.
Most of us really ungrateful. We got so much, and still we are not grateful. We get so much beyond our imagination. So, and that is what the shaitan taking us. So we said long time ago, what is the ultimate goal of shaitan? What shaitan said to when he was in confrontation with
Make them
Adam?
all ungrateful.
Shaitan didn't say, I'm going to make all the son of Adam not Muslims or not praying or not believing in you. No. My ultimate goal for them to make them ungrateful to you. وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ. He says, my goal to make majority of them, of you, Adam, your children, ungrateful to Allah. And you can see he succeeded. Even the good ones, we are ungrateful. Still we complain, Ya Allah give me this, Ya Allah I want this some more, Allah I have been asking for this for a long time, Ya Allah you didn't give me. We are ungrateful. وإما تعرضن عنهم ابتغاء رحمة من ربك ترجوها فقل لهم قولا ميسورا. This 28 give us the other dimension of this matter, that we should stop going after the wants, we should go only after the needs, and then we should be grateful to whatever we have beyond the need to put it in the right way. But if you only able to fulfill what you need, you cannot go beyond that. And there are people around you, as we said, the miskin and the faqir and the wayfarer and the relatives and kinship, they are all in need. But you are only able to fulfill your need. And they are asking you to give. So what do? The Quran said,
And if you, Ya Muhammad and his ummah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, turn away from them, kindred, the miskin, the traveler, the wayfarer, whom Allah has ordered you to give their rights, their due. But if you have no means, no money at the time that they ask you for it, and you are awaiting a mercy from Allah, for which you hope, then speak unto them a soft, kind word. And Allah should give me, and I should give you.
I want to listen to this again. This is the advice of Allah. If you only can fulfill your need, and you see, as we say, your kinship, your parents, your relatives, or the miskin, all they are in need, and you have no means to fulfill their, or to help them and support them. What Allah has advised us, and to do 2 things. Number 1, قُلْ لَهُمْ قَوْلًا قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا. قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا. 1. Number 2, say, may Allah grant me and enable me to have some so I can give you. ابتغاء رحمة. Ya Allah, as they asking me, I'm asking you. Give me something so I can give them. So that is 2 things you do. If you are only limited, and you can only fulfill your need, that's fine. Still you have to give something. What is it? قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا. Good word. May Allah open His door for you. And me too. For you to rise above the need. And for me to be able to give you. And I am hopeful that mercy is going to come to me and you. ابتغاء رحمة من ربك ترجوها. Basically, he say, knock the door of mercy of Allah on you and those who are in need, and tell them good words. Listen to the translation again.
And if you, Ya Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and his ummah, turn away from them, the kindred, the miskin, the poor, the traveler, the wayfarer, whom Allah Ta'ala has ordered you to give their rights, their due. But if you have no means, no wealth, no money at the time they ask you for it, and you are awaiting a mercy from Allah for which you hope, then speak unto them a soft, kind word. Allah will give me and I shall give you.
Now the word is ta'ridan. What did he translate that? The first word, turn away from them. Right?
No.
He said turn away. If you are going to turn away from them. Now, well, the translation, that is it. If you are going to turn away, as if it is allowed. The Arabic meaning is never allowed, that you turn away from them. At least give them good words and seek the mercy of Allah, but it is not allowed to turn away from them with as he said here, with word. Go and work or go and do something for yourself with word that you degrade them, you humiliate them. It's not allowed. And in Surah Al-Duha, وَأَمَّا السَّائِلَ فَلَا تَنْهَرْ. Sa'il, if somebody asks, you are not allowed to tanhar. What do we say about tanhar? To humiliate, basically. To raise your voice and humiliate. It's not allowed. What is order? That tell them good words. قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا. What he said, قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا.
And then speak unto them a soft, kind word.
Soft, kind words. And at the same time, knock the door of mercy of Allah on you and on them. But it is not allowed to turn away in a harsh, mean, arrogant way, in humiliating way, is not allowed. Whether the kinship, the miskin, or the poor, or relatives, or the bigger, the one who asks, is not allowed to turn away. And we said there are people, because of this verse and the other verse, there are one in Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Duha. Because of this, they adopted a certain behavior, that is, nobody asks them for anything and they never give them anything. Even if it is a penny, or a 5 cent, or piece of bread, they feel that they are compelled to give them whatever they can and good words. They never basically turn away without anything else. Yes?
You know how you're driving and the people on
The homeless.
the homeless. In that case, brother,
You know what? In general, first of all, those people on the street homeless, first of all, they are stereotyped. We think all they are drug dealers, they are crooked, they are criminals, all, which is not true. Okay, we don't know the reality. There might be some. Just like they say those who drive food stamp, they are all criminals, they are all drug dealers, which is not true. And there might be a few of them, just what they say, all Muslims are bad, all Muslims are violent, all Muslims are terrorists, which is not true. That is one of the aspects wrong. Prejudice and generalization with no basis. If you come to know the person deeply and understand their problem, help them even if they are, say, addicted. Help them, give them food. If you want to eat, here's the food. Anything else, I'm not giving you money. So Islamically, wrong to just judge according to the stereotyping. Haram. He didn't know that. Even, as I said, even if they are really going to take the money and go and buy drugs, but still they need money, they need food, give them what they need. Don't give them what they want. You are not allowed to give them what they want, but give them what they need. So you can give them a hamburger, or if you have some bread or sandwich, give it to them. Well, they cannot sell it and do anything with it. They have to eat it. And they will appreciate it. Or say good words and go. But the problem is, they'll tell you, oh, these are all, we are influenced by Republicans. Oh, these are all crooked drug dealers and so on and so forth. We go by them with arrogant prejudice and humiliating attitude in ourselves toward them. That's haram. Really. Let's say, this situation, is it enough humiliation they are in? Even if they are drug dealers, if they are addicts, and they have no source to fill this addiction, addicts need help. Take them to shelter, take them to rehab, do something. You cannot just because they are sick, you throw them. Somebody is sick. Okay, this person is sick. You have to do something that is good for them. You don't have to go to fulfill their wants because they have the wrong wants. Right? Okay, so that is, what is it? At least in Islam, you know what to say? Alhamdulillah, praise to Allah. I have so much and I am in no need to stand this situation. I am saved from his conditions. That is what first you need to say. Alhamdulillah, I am saved from these conditions. You could be. And then, if you are going to help, you help in the right way. If you don't, at least that's what they say. Hope for them. Somebody will help. There are people in today, as we heard report in Greece, because there are millions of them, they lost their jobs. And here there are millions. They have been for more than 2-3 years, have gotten absolutely no income. And somebody went to their family and how they live, how? Say we have family on a farm and we just try to share whatever we have, and we try to, not to show the children that we are so worried, stressed. We could get them by what they need, the basic things in the food and shelter and play. But if the car broke, that family said, we have no way even to fix it or go anywhere to get something. We don't. And this is millions. So, you said, alhamdulillah, I'm not standing on the road begging for something, even for drugs. Still, that's the problem. This is a human being to be honored and dignified. And helped in any way, even if they are sinner or went astray. There is reasons, or they made a mistake and they need somebody to pull them out of that. And the society, that's what the Quran says, society has to come together and pull them out of this situation. So that is number 28. We said what? Allah instructed us to do 3 things now, not 2. 1. Number 1, you must say, Alhamdulillah, praise to Allah, I am saved from His conditions. Number 1. Number 2, say good words. Number 3, ask Allah to open the mercy on you and them. That is how we deal with all of those who are in distressful conditions. Okay, let's listen to it again. And really, this is a behavior that we have to change first, attitude, and to practice it. You see someone in miserable, bad conditions. In Los Angeles, we went one time, homeless, many, on the beaches, on these beautiful things. Basically, one of us has a nerve to talk to this person. He said 40 days, he's staying 40 days, he never gets chance to take shower. He couldn't. So he has to travel far away. Even he went to the shore, or you're not allowed to swim. Has to travel so far where he is allowed to swim and to take shower. When we get to the shower, we spend 20 gallons of water and we never even think about it. So all of these, we Muslims should basically behave in a way that is consistent with the teachings of Quran. They are not to be influenced by the non-Muslims, because Allah said they don't have much values. Okay, did you repeat that? 3 days?
And do not.
Yeah.
Ya
Turn away
Muhammad,
from them.
sallallahu alayhi wa
Allahumma
sallam,
salli.
and his ummah, people in general, turn away from them, the kindred, the poor, the wayfarer. And Allah has ordered you to give them their rights and their due.
Mhm.
So, you have no money at the time they ask you for it. And you are waiting in mercy from your Rabb for what you hope. Then speak unto them a soft, kind word. Allah will give me and I shall give you. Inshallah.
Do not turn away from them and belittle them, or mock them, or degrade them, or judge them. Do not. And also should call upon you when you see them to reflect on how much good and bounty you have, and show gratefulness and gratitude to Allah. That you are not like Him. You are not in these conditions. That is a lesson actually to us by looking to those people. وَإِمَّا تُعْرِضَنَّ عَنْهُمْ ابْتِغَاءَ رَحْمَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكَ. We said there are Muslims, they have taken this order. This is an order from Allah, and it is consistent in many places. One in Surah Al-Baqarah and Surah Al-Duha, and this one that those who are in need, this is how we behave toward them. Give them if they are relatives, if they are friends, if they are miskeen, give them their due when you can. If you cannot, at least do not turn away in them in a way you judge them, you degrade them, you say harsh, not lenient word to them. At least, as he said, say good words, and also ask Allah to grant His mercy on you and them. So ask Allah to grant our mercy to us. You should just remember yourself. This person standing in the street maybe for 8 hours. He might get even $100. Who cares? But will you stand that? How much I'll pay you to stand and beg? How much are you going to ask to be paid for? And all these humiliations. This is miserable as a lesson to you. You are driving, you have the clothes, you ate, your stomach full, your pocket full, in the bank, in the family, in the check, and all of these. Then he's begging for $1, $20, or $100. It doesn't matter. That's all what he's going to collect. He will not become a millionaire. He will not be able to buy a home. He will not be able to buy a car. He will not, whatever he got, he is going to be consumed for basic things. Maybe even a drug, it doesn't matter. He in need to help, and he reminds you. He got nothing, you got everything. So why don't you show grateful to Allah? That's Alhamdulillah alladhi afani mimma ibtala bihi ghayri. This is the hadith, the dua of the Prophet ﷺ. You see someone in these conditions, you say Alhamdulillah, praise to Allah who saved me from these conditions. Because he could be you. Right, and so how you have a guarantee? So that's what you say. Alhamdulillah alladhi afani mimma ibtala bihi ghayri. I am grateful to Allah who saved me from hardship that has befallen on others. And hardship befallen on everybody. Look around the whole world. You look to Syria, look everywhere. You turn around, hardships is just pouring. And you are saved. How come you didn't show gratitude and gratefulness? And you should feel happy, really. 28. ولا تجعل يدك مغلولة إلى عنقك ولا تبسطها كل البسط فتقعد ملوما محسورا. 29.
And let not your hand be tied like a miser to your neck, nor stretch it forth to its utmost reach like a spendthrift, so that you become blameworthy, and truly regretful.
And this is the most important principle of home economy. Have you heard something called home economy? What is it? What is home economy? You never had class? They teach class?
Home economics.
Yeah, home economics, what is it?
It's like when the famous are taught how to maintain or like doing the sewing or the cooking.
That's the home economic class.
Right, but basically what they are learning them to do.
I took that class too.
Yeah, okay, tell me what is it?
Like home economics, it teaches you how to manage your affairs in your home.
In an efficient economical way.
No.
Right? You have just always, you have a balance sheet. Here are the resources of income, and here is the means of expenses, and here the net. Okay? So that is exactly what is it. This is what the verse said. That you don't expand the column number 1, where you spend and borrow. He said, وَلَا فَتَقْعُدَ مَلُومًا مَحْسُورًا. What is the result? Malum mahsur. Worthy of blame and what?
And you become truly regretful.
Alright. Blameworthy and regretful. So if you expand the column number 1, which is just buy and spend. The end of it what? As Allah said. You blame who first? You blame yourself. So you became blameworthy. Even if others, he said, I'm stuck on it. Why did you buy this? Can you help me? Can you borrow me? Can you lend me? Why did you do this? That's what you became, a blameworthy by yourself and others. They didn't sympathize with you. And then second one, what? I become extremely regretful. It was in my hand, but I used it the wrong way. Now I'm stuck. So that is one way. Or the other way is just basically you become in a state of misery. Misery means just you squeeze, and there are people just they squeeze beyond your imagination. They are extremely stingy. Okay, there are people here among us. If they do not put their paycheck totally in the saving every month, they cry for a week, even if it is less $5. Wallahi. They go and get a dry bread and tea and something and eat, and makes 70,000, 100,000 a year. Got more than one home. Every single member in the family work and have income, but if they did not take that paycheck totally and put it in deposit, they $1, they cry for a week. Yes, wallah. And that's why Allah said this is disbelief. Kufr. There are people here I know, 100%. That is ikhwan al-shayateen. I mean, it is the protection to the money is more than protecting God or deen.